Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is Dave, and this is MMA for you. We're going to be doing our predictions for UFC on Fox 10. Henderson versus Thomson, which happens on January 25th. What do you think about this card, Dave?
First of all, I want to say I'm so happy I'm back. Been
Mm-hmm.
through a lot, so now I'm back on the show. About this car, man, I don't know. The undercuts, whatever. I mean, it's gonna be fun. You gonna see some blood, some striking.
Mm-hmm.
The main car is it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To me, it's just really a weak fight car.
Well, they don't have any title fights. They do have some recognizable names with Cerrone,
Hmm.
Gonzaga, Henderson, Thompson, up and comer and Stipe Miocic. So, possible up and comer is Adriano Martins. So, I mean, it kind of makes up for it. Like you said, though, man, I think there's potential for fun, though. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Maybe not with the Elkins fight because he's a grinder. Probably not with the Rosholt fight because he's a grinder. But all the other guys, yeah, potential for violence for sure.
Yeah, that grab some popcorn, see some blood. Why
Mm.
not, right?
Okay, let's get started. We got Benson Smooth Henderson versus Josh Thompson. 5 round fight, non-title.
Well, I gotta keep my record. I still gonna pick Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Well, beside the record 19-3, 2 KO, TKO, 8 submission, the guy is just unstoppable monster.
Well,
He's
he did
great.
lose to Anthony Pettis in his last fight.
I don't know anything about that. I deny.
Yeah.
But anyway, I say he unstoppable because he's a good wrestling, strong BJJ, good leg kick. The guy has everything that you really want to have. I mean, I like Henderson.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy with few weaknesses. If the weakest aspect of his game, in my opinion, probably would be his boxing.
But
Um,
he used his wrestling.
yeah,
He got on the floor, and then he's really good at ground and pound.
exactly. Yeah,
So you know why boxing, as long
yeah,
as you're on the ground,
yeah.
you
Or clinch.
a clinch, right?
Yeah.
He'll ground and pound you. So
Mm.
I think it's okay.
And he is fighting a good fighter, Josh the Punk Thompson, 20-5 record, with one no contest. Um, let's see, 5 wins by KO or TKO, and he most recently TKO'd Nate Diaz, who's never been TKO'd or KO'd in his MMA career.
Mm.
9 subs, 30.
That's
No,
impressive though.
yeah, exactly. 9 subs. He's 35 years old, but he still fights really well. Training out of AKA, he's a former Strikeforce lightweight champion. He's a strong wrestler with good top control.
Hmm.
His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu solid. He actually choked out Pat Healy in a fight he was I believe he was losing if I'm not mistaken. His kickboxing is solid, like I said. Knocked out Diaz.
Hmm.
He's a guy that uses the push kick, the teep kick a lot.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
And takedown defense is solid as well. So, I mean, he's got a lot of things that Henderson's good at. Some other things that,
I mean, it sounds like Thompson's pretty good, but I still think Henderson has so much to offer. I
mhm,
mean, the guy has a power too. I think his ground and pound is just gonna be deadly. I
mhm,
feel like the strategy would be test on the striking, get on the floor, using the BJJ, use the ground and pound, and then really just either win a decision or knocking out.
cool, man. Yeah, I got Benson Henderson winning this one as well.
Good choice.
Nice. Next fight after that. And this is actually one of 3 heavyweight fights on this card, which is actually kind of unprecedented. Well, not, I mean, you don't see it very much in the UFC.
Hmm.
You got Gabriel Gonzaga versus Stipe Miocic.
Gabriel, I like Gabriel a lot. I mean, he's 16-7, records, 7 KO, TKO, not submission. I mean, he did lose 6 times with KO, TKO. So
By heavy hitters.
yeah, again, like you say, right?
Yeah.
Those are tough fighter too. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so don't just because oh man he lose 7 fights so he's not that good, but really those are top people.
Mm-hmm.
So to me now his kickboxing is pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
BJJ black belt,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's definitely a finisher too.
Mm-hmm.
To the point that he can. I don't know. Overall, I think Gabriel has a pretty solid, ground.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's solid all around. He's actually been knocking. He knocked out Sean Jordan, Dave Herman. I mean, he's actually been knocking dudes out as of late. But he's also tapped out like Ben Rothwell. So it's not like. And I have seen him use more of his wrestling. One of the big criticisms against him in the past was that he was falling in love with his hands.
Yes.
You see it a lot less with him. And the guys he has been knocking out have been in less than a minute. However, he's fighting Stipe Miocic. 10-1 record. 7 wins by KO or TKO. 1 win by sub. One submission. One submission win by strikes. 31 years old. Training out of a strong style fight team. Other guys that train out of there would be Brian Rogers from Bellator. He's a good boxing with some good footwork and some good wrestling. If you watch the Roy Nelson fight, for example, Roy Nelson couldn't touch him because of the footwork. Other fights make me concerned because I have seen him a bit flat. Against Stephen Struve, he gassed out pretty early. And looked kind of flat once the second round happened. I'm betting that the Stipe Miocic that showed up for Roy Nelson fights Gabriel Gonzaga. And that's why I'm going for Stipe Miocic.
I exactly know where you're coming from, but I feel like, yeah, Gabriel, what I worry about Gabriel is his a week of cardios.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he's one. Like you mentioned before, he play with his head so much because he has a one-punch KO power.
True. Yeah.
Right? So he's so confident on that. You see that through a lot of fighters. Sometimes they just so fall in love with striking, he forget, crap, I have a black belt BJJ, why am I not using it?
Yeah.
It's first time. He just need to know that in different situations, use a different thing. And with, with your fighter,
Stipe, yeah.
Gabriel has everything you have, except the footwork.
Yeah.
But I have a freaking one punch KO power, and then I just feel like if you stay flat, then I definitely have a chance to knock you out.
Good point. Good point. And Gonzaga's just one of those guys. He has beaten prospects in the past. Lost a couple like Brendan Shaw, beat a Sean Jordan. Stipe's definitely still under pretty much a prospect in heavyweight. So we'll see how it goes. It's either Stipe rises to the challenge, or he faces pretty much the gatekeeper in Gonzaga, pretty much.
Again, if Gonzaga doesn't, two things that will worry me. It's your footwork. And then Gonzaga's cardio. If those two doesn't play alone, I'm pretty confident with my pick.
Nice. Okay, next right at that, we got Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Adriano Martins.
I want to say Adriano Martins, but let me hear about Donald. Why you choose Donald?
Donald Cerrone, man, this guy fights a lot. He has a 21-6 record with 1 no contest. I think the guy fights like 3 or 4 times a year, if not more.
He's around 30 years old now?
Yeah, he's 30 years old. 2 wins by KO or TKO, 14 wins by sub.
Amazing.
Yeah, he trains out of Jackson's. His jiu-jitsu is really solid, and he's good off his back. He actually beat Evan Dunham in his last fight by a triangle choke, and Dunham is a brown or black belt himself. His kickboxing is solid, especially his use of kicks. His leg kicks are good. And his wrestling's improving both offensively and defensively.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's improving his wrestling.
Yep.
All right. So now my fighter. What do you know about my fighter? Let me tell you. It got 25-6 records. 11 KO, TKO. All right. He have a 3 submission. 31 years old. The age is not much difference. 6-5 winning streak. BJJ black belt. Good kickboxing. So definitely, I will see a lot of kick. With my fighter, and then
and punches.
Huh?
And punches.
And the punches, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like him because the strike and then the
He's
BJJ.
pretty well rounded.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
it's pretty
sure.
well rounded.
Well, if you watch his last fight actually against Darren Cruickshank, man, I think he surprised a lot of people. It was his first fight in the UFC. From one thing that was noticeable, he looked pretty big compared to
Yeah,
Cruickshank.
and then people don't really know about him, and he's
Yeah.
not just the focus.
Yeah.
He's big was for his weight classes.
Mhm.
He's doing good for what he is doing. So
One other thing that people don't notice about Adriano Martin too is the guy's been actually. He has a 25-6 record, 30 fights. I think he's been fighting for almost, if not a decade. He's been fighting for like 10 years. He's been in the game for a while, and he's solid everywhere. It's just no one's heard of him.
yes.
That's the thing.
For some reason, he's the underdog here. I mean, it's like
Well,
just because people don't know of him.
Yeah. But he is in the Cruickshank fight. He beat him up in the stand-up, took him down, got a Kimura, and got a really easy Kimura victory. I mean, it was really basic, actually. He looked like a stud, to be honest with you.
And that's why I picked him.
Yeah. The thing is, yeah. And Donald Cerrone, if things aren't going his way, he can lose fights, man. I mean, pretty bad. Rafael dos Anjos, man. One thing about Donald Cerrone that kind of sucks is that he is a slow starter. A lot of people can take the first round from him.
Fake KO, man.
But the thing with Cerrone, like when he fought like Dos Anjos, it's like he was down 2 rounds and he got the third round and Dos Anjos was just kind of coasting. And, also, the Nate Diaz fight, I mean, the guy just, wasn't mentally there sometimes. So sometimes Cerrone can look kind of off.
Adriano has his own pace, but it's not as slow as your guy.
But when Cerrone's on it, man, his kickboxing's deadly, his kicks are awesome, and his ground game's really good. I gotta go with Donald Cerrone.
How do I know he's on it or not? So I'm gonna go with Adriano.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, and the final fight of the main card, we have Darren Elkins versus Jeremy Stevens.
Darren Elkins. I mean, the guy has a 17-3 records, 5 KO, TKO, 5 submission, 2 losses with a KO, TKO, but
He's mainly a wrestler. That's his
right?
thing.
29 years old. I don't know. To me, he's pretty big for the 145.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Strong wrestling, strong top control. Again, that is awesome to have.
Yeah. Well, he's a grinder. I mean, he's a guy that'll like lay on you if he needs to.
But you know what? Unfortunately, in this field, grinder tends to win the fight.
Mm-hmm.
His style has been improving, so I give part for that. But I just feel like he has in his own pace as well. If he get the top control all the time, then he will be favorable.
Yeah. Well, he is fighting Jeremy Stevens, who has a 22-9 record, 15 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He also has 3 losses by submission. 27 years old on a 2-fight win streak. He actually fought at 155 for his career, and he recently moved to 145, and it's been looking spectacular. He won his last fight by one head kick KO. He does have that one-punch knockout power. Heavy-handed guy, training out of Alliance in San Diego. And his wrestling and grappling overall have been improving. You actually see him go for takedowns a lot.
Wait. He sounds so good. Who do you pick?
I could go with Elkins, though.
Okay.
Because the thing with Elkins is he is big for the weight class, and his strategy is takedown, grind.
Yes.
And
never fail strategy.
Yeah. And as good as Stevens is, as much as Stevens is improving the grappling aspect of his game, I still think Elkins will be able to get the takedown. I think he'll be able to stay on top, and I think he'll be able to do that for 3 rounds.
Do you think Stephen can KO the Elkins?
Dude, he can KO a bear. I mean, like seriously, he's the type of guy that definitely does have fight-ending power. The fight can not go his way, like against Marcus Davis, for example. Fight's not going his way, 3rd round, I think it's like a left hook. Marcus Davis is out. Clean KO. So, yeah, I mean, it's more than possible. if Elkins elects to stand with Stevens.
But that's not his style.
It's generally not his style. So I expect Elkins to use his superior wrestling to win this one.
Okay, so the only way this scene it doesn't go to our way because the big KO power.
Yeah.
Okay,
on to the prelims. It's about Fox Sports 1 and Facebook. We have Yves Jabouin versus Eddie Wineland.
I've been a fan for Yves Jabouin for a while. He's pretty good. 19-8 records, 11 KO, TKO, 1 submission, 3 lost by KO, TKO, 3 lost by submission. But obviously, I don't need to say much about him. It's good kickboxing. Good.
Look where he trains at too. TriStar. You know what he trains there?
What's training at?
GSP.
The guy who just got beat up so bad. Sorry, man. I love GSP, man. He's my model. Why? No, but but anyway, we will do another show about that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's kind of messed up. Sorry, GSP.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
But the kickboxing, the training camp is amazing, and the Jabouin has really good kickboxing, especially his spinning kick.
Yeah, he does the spinning back kick really well, actually.
Yeah.
Definitely, he's dropped some guys with that move.
And his grappling has been improving as well. But I don't see he gonna do that with grapple with 80. I think it's just a two guy fighting power, punch each other to death, a lot of blood shedding, and I can eat my popcorn and drink my beer.
Yeah, with Eddie Wineland, 20. Is that like sake for you, man?
No, I'm not Japanese. How many times I tell you? Jesus. Soju.
Okay, it's soju with you, man.
Next time you eat a kimchi, I tell you.
I don't eat kimchi, man. I don't eat spicy.
Why you eat sushi all the time?
Dude, I don't eat spicy.
Alright.
But Eddie Wineland, 20-9 record with 1 draw, 10 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. That's 2 losses by KO or TKO and 4 losses by sub. 29 years old, training out of Duneland Valley Tudo. Along with Darren Elkins actually trains there as well.
Not GSP.
He's a strong boxer. His cardio is really good. He uses straight punches. He's got a solid chin, and his takedown defense is really strong as well. I gotta go with Eddie Wineland here. He's fought the higher level competition. Interesting style.
Wait, Jabouin have fight some good guy too.
It's not like Pickett and whatnot. So is Wineland. One thing that is interesting though, there's a style thing here because Eddie Wineland is primarily a boxer. I mean, he will throw some kicks, but for the most part, it's usually hands.
Hey, you dead, man. My guy do kickboxing, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna punch you in the face and kick you in the leg.
Yeah, Jabouin is definitely a he do a lot of kicks. I mean, he'll throw hands and whatnot, but he definitely I think he prefers to do kicks.
Well, what hurts more, punch or kicks? Thank you.
Well, actually, it kind of depends on where, I mean, Eddie Wineland, he's actually a good combination puncher as well.
No. I keep a distance with a kick anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. You don't know what the game plan will be. So, I'm going to go with Eddie Wineland. I think his boxing is superior to Jabouin's kickboxing, but you never know.
Well, maybe on boxing perspective, but I feel like if a Jabouin can keep a distance, just don't let Eddie go inside and then kick the shit out of Eddie. I think Jabouin might win this fight. But obviously, if Eddie go inside, draw some combination, it might mess up the whole game. So.
Yeah. Okay. Next right after that, Chico Camus fights Yaotzin Meza.
Do you know much about these guys?
Yeah, you know what, Meza, honestly, I only remember Meza because he got knocked out by Chad Mendes.
So that's a negative image.
And then he beat John Albert. He was actually in a really bad position with him, but ended up getting a submission on him. Chico Camus, he has a 13-4 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. 28 years old, training out of Rufus Sports, along with guys like Anthony Showtime Pettis.
Okay.
He is a good kickboxer. like good offensive wrestling, and I will say I think he has some pretty weak takedown defense. To be honest, Dustin Peg managed to take him down. Kyung Ho Kang managed to take him down. Um, did I think I don't know if Kimura managed to take him down, but he got choked out by I forgot the guy's first name. I know his last name's Kimura.
So it's fair to say his ground game is not strong.
He is capable of being taken down and controlled.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that he has like that week of he's actually lost. Oh, Dustin Kimura. He has lost. He went to the ground with Dustin Kimura.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow Kimura took his back because Kimura was mainly a jiu-jitsu guy and choked him out.
Okay, well, so he's not bulletproof with a jiu-jitsu guy.
No,
so
he's not bulletproof.
So you know what? My guy gonna choke you out because my guy's really good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I mean he does have 7 wins by sub, but yeah, well, I mean what's up with your guy?
Well, my guy, 28 record, 5 KO, TKO, semi-submission, 3 loss by, but again, everybody lost, right? Come on.
Yeah.
He has a weak takedown defense as well, but definitely a good BJJ guy. I mean, when I say weak takedown defense, I mean was a really higher people, but to me, Chico is not gonna be able to do any of that. Compared to Chico, Meza is way better on the ground, So I feel like instead getting takedown, you gotta get takedown.
Well, one thing that should be taken of note now that you're talking about the grappling, he does train at MMA Lab. Do you know who trains with him?
Who?
Benson Henderson.
Not GS. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Now I definitely have to pick Meza because I picked my boy Henderson.
Which is kind of funny because Chico Camus trains with Anthony Pettis, who just beat Benson Henderson.
I do not know of anything about that.
So, but yeah, I'll go with Chico Camus to win that one.
Again, Meza, good BJJ, take Chico down, choke his ass, done.
Cool. Okay, next right after that, Adam Haliev fights Pascal Kraus. I'm gonna say this right now. I am picking Haliev. He has a 6-0 undefeated record, 2 wins by KO TKO, 2 wins by sub. It's his first one in the UFC.
Who is he?
The fact of the matter is, Pascal Kraus just comes off a little too mediocre to me. That's the problem. I don't know much about Haliev. He seems to be well-rounded enough. He has 2 wins by KO TKO, 2 wins by sub. So I'll go with him. Here's my thing. When I see a prospect against like the mid-tier guy, I'm kind of thinking that the UFC wants to set up this guy with possibly a winnable fight to see if he's UFC caliber. But that's the thing. That's why I'm going with Adam Haliev. Who do you got, man?
Definitely not your pick.
Yeah.
Well,
Pascal Kraus.
Pascal Kraus, I pick him because again he's been there. He's done that. It's 11-2 records, and I don't know. I don't really know much about this young fighter. I feel like my fighter has already been there for a while. He's a mid-tier guy, whatever, but he can be a gatekeeper. Even if a UFC sell the way it is, but it's I don't know. I just feel like he's pretty well-rounded, good kickboxing, good BJJ. Nothing wrong with that. It's just not great.
Yeah. He's only 26 years old. Pascal Kraus is just one of those guys. His stand-up is definitely a work in progress. He did get knocked out by Hungyu Lemon's last fight. He was in the fight. I mean, that was the thing. He did get beat up pretty bad by John Hathaway. He didn't really have much for him. Couldn't take the fight to the ground. But, Hathaway is pretty solid. So,
you can't compare with solid fighter with your new young fighter.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. And Kraus is 26 years old, training on Rufus Sport with the likes of like Anthony Pettis and Chico Camus and like Sergio Pettis and whatnot, and Alan Does Belcher still train there? I think he might. And Ben Askren. Yeah, Ben Askren. So, yeah, that's the thing.
So again, if kickboxing is good, BJJ is good, I don't know. Since could go to my fighters.
So you got Pascal Kraus.
Yes.
Okay. Next fight with that, Ramiro Hernandez fights Hugo Viana.
Ramiro.
Oh, nice. I got Hugo Viana, man.
Why?
7-1 record, 1 win by KO, 6 wins by decision. That's very deceptive, actually, because the guy, he showed at like Tough Brazil that he can like ground and pound guys pretty bad, and lately he's been showing some pretty heavy hands. It's very odd that a guy has like 6 out of his 7 wins, 6 of them are by decision. It makes him sound like a grinder, but he's not a grinder. He has improving stand-up, his good takedown defense, he's good at getting back to his feet when he's taken down. His ground and pound is solid. I've always liked Hugo Viana as a prospect, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you got, man?
Well, it sounds Hugo is pretty solid. I mean, I do want to pick him, but I think Ramiro might be a good pick. This is why, okay? 13-5 records, 4 KO, TKO, 5 submission, 27 years old, so he's still a young fighter. Younger than me, so was young. Mm-hmm. He trained
Miocic, man. One of the original, like
my turn. Who trained in the Milton?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, well, Matt Hughes used to train there.
Not GSP. Okay. Anyway.
Well, GSP beat Matt Hughes. The best fighter that trains out of Miocic right now would honestly be a female fighter like Barb Honchak. Would be one of the better Miocic fighters out there right now.
Well, but he have a good wrestling.
Stand-up's actually not too bad either.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's fantastic or anything, but it's pretty good.
Solid.
Yeah. And to the Hugo, I don't really know much about him. I feel I just gonna play safe. But again, after what I heard from you, Hugo sounds pretty solid himself as well. Well, hopefully Ramiro play wrestling was well. Can hang in the striking and really utilize wrestling. So, who knows?
Cool. Next right at that, we have heavyweights as Walt Harris fights Nikita Krylov.
Another fun fight.
Yeah.
Let's see some blood.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is Nikita Krylov had one of the most laughably bad fights in the UFC against Sao Palele in his last fight.
What happened?
It turned into, after the first round, I mean, they were so sloppy and so gassed out that it was comically bad how the fight was going. I mean, Nikita Krylov is interesting. He's 15-3 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 10 wins by sub. He has 1 loss by TKO and 2 losses by sub. So he's never been to decision, and he's only 21 years old.
Okay. Young fighter.
Young fighter, 18 fights already. None of them's gone to decision.
Okay.
So he is a finisher, but he's sloppy as hell. I mean, stand up, sloppy, not the greatest technique. Grappling, not the greatest technique. Cardio, not that great.
Okay, now I wonder where he trained.
Yeah, I don't even know where he trains, man.
No, Harris, he's much more solid. 5-2 rigor, 5 KO, TKO, definitely a finisher. 30 years old, good boxing, heavy-handed, 1-punch KO power.
Yeah.
Now that's what I really like to like. When you are good boxing, you gotta have a KO power. You don't want to have a Peril fest. We all know what happens when you have a Peril fest. But anyway,
you win decisions.
Huh?
You win decisions.
Do we have to bring out the humiliation? With all these Peril fist fighters. But anyway, you can, if you want to, you can just watch a couple fight with But anyway, what I want to say here is KO. 1-punch KO fighter, man. He's much more accurate compared to
Nikita Krylov. Yeah.
So I feel like he can knock him out.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, I gotta go with Walter Harris. And I'll say this too: he is a black guy, therefore he is athletic and explosive.
Wow, what's wrong with you?
It's just it's something that they always say. Rogan and Goldberg always say. It's just one of those things. But he actually is. He did manage to drop Jared Rosholt in his last fight, who's also fighting on the card. But ended up losing the next 2 rounds against him. Next fight after that, Jared Rosholt fights UFC newcomer Alexei Olenek.
Who do you have?
Jared Rosholt, man. I think this is a terrible stylistic for Alexei Olenek. One thing that's really cool about Olenek, no gi. This guy, there's no gi in MMA, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at his record and see some of his fights, one of his go-to moves is the Ezekiel choke.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
With no gi too.
Without gi, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell?
He could do it from guard, actually.
But look at his record, dude. This guy is been there down. He has the 48, 9-1 records.
Yeah.
This guy has 39 submissions.
39 subs. Yeah.
What the hell, man? It's pretty ridiculous. The guy can use no gi and choke somebody out. It's pretty ridiculous.
Actually, he just his most recent fight was against Mirko Krokop, and he won with a neck crank.
He killed my cop.
He did kill Krokop, yes.
Krokop, please. Why are you still here? Retire.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
Okay.
Jesus. Okay.
But
again, he's great with submission. All right. He's what, 36 by now?
Yeah, he's 36 years old.
Yeah, right. He has a 9-fight, 5-win streak. And he's really experienced, really strong BJJ. But then you know why? He suck on striking. What the hell?
Well,
it's then who is setting this fight for him? Are they trying? Is they not one trying to kill him?
It's a really bad stylistic matchup because Jared Rosholt's 9-1. He has a 9-1 record with 3 wins by KO TKO, 3 wins by sub. 27 years old on a 5-fight win streak. Trains at Team Takedown, and he is a strong wrestler. He had one of I forgot. It's like that NCAA Division I, all of it. I mean, he has those creds.
He has a great top control, dude.
Well, here's the thing. Like, he could conceivably just lay in prey if he really wanted to.
And I feel like because he's so strong in the right position. I feel like you say, dude, he can just stay there, and this fight will be his.
Yeah.
Done.
He can just stay in top control, and if Olenek wants to, go into turtle up, dude, Jared Rosholt, if you see some of his fights in the regional scene, I mean, the guy will just stick with you in the ride position a lot.
You are not gonna win the fight.
Yeah.
And obviously, what's gonna happen? You have to, you're a great jiu-jitsu practitioner, so you wanna go for the takedown. But then you know what? A guy is a freaking wrestler. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Well, here's the thing with Olenek too. It's like his striking is weak, and he uses it to get the takedown. The only problem is he's not the greatest at takedowns. I mean, he's not a strong.
And you are forcing a wrestler. Yeah.
That's the thing. He just doesn't have that strong of takedown ability. It's good, but it's just not that great. I think he has a sambo background, but you don't really see it too much.
That's the thing. If you cannot take your opponent on the ground, how are you gonna choke him?
Yeah. And one other thing to note too with Jared Rosholt, his stand-up is improving. I mean, if you watch Walt Harris fight, I mean, he was actually winning in the second round through stand-up. And the third, he managed to take Harris down and stay in half guard and just do ground and pound all day and won the decision and just wrote out the decision. But he did manage to actually do somewhat well in that second round against Harris, who's notorious for knocking dudes out.
Yes. Okay. So the bottom line, I agree with you. We pick a C fighter.
Yeah, gotta go with Jared Rosholt.
Okay, the last fight, which is another fun, striking, bloody, drinking beer. Okay, but drinking soju,
and eating kimchi, right?
Why do I have to eat kimchi? But anyway.
Korean barbecue.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Anyway, what do you got?
Yeah, we got Darren Cruickshank versus Mike Rio.
Darren, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is, Rio's kind of forgettable. I mean, he lost to Massaranduba. He got choked out by Massaranduba, or he got submitted by Massaranduba. And his last fight, he got submitted by Tony Ferguson. I mean, the guy has a 9-3 record, 4 wins by KO TKO, 4 wins by sub. That's his 2 losses by sub. 32 years old on a 2-fight losing streak.
Dude, Darren, you know why I pick him?
Why?
Because he's gonna win. No, you know why I pick him? 13-4 record, 7 KO TKO, 1 submission, 2 lost by submission. But you know what's the biggest thing?
What?
You know what Korean people good with? Taekwondo. He has a Taekwondo style, man.
He does. He actually has some really good kicks, some solid takedown defense as well. Actually, only 28 years old. I think Darren Cruickshank wins this one.
Because of Taekwondo style.
Yeah, I mean, he'll definitely use some unorthodox. He uses a lot of kicks, for one thing. He will use like side kicks too and whatnot.
You know, that's another thing. A lot of people don't use side kick as much. They need to utilize side kick.
Yeah, exactly. You were seeing it a little more. There's this one female fighter, Tesha Torres, that uses it really well. Kung Lee, of course.
But just not a Kung Lee, of course. I mean,
yeah. It's not common.
That's just not common, but it's just like, I love to see a fighter who do side kick, body punches. Those are really something powerful to do.
Yeah. Yeah, the side kicks are tough because it's the front leg side kick.
Mm-hmm.
So usually the back leg would have more power. So it's really hard to do a front leg side kick for some guys.
That's why you have a Taekwondo style.
Yeah.
Taekwondo will train you well. Remember, eat some kimchi before you do that.
Okay, let's recap, man.
Okay.
On the main card, I got Benson Henderson beating Josh
I got
Thomson.
Ben Henderson.
Okay, we both have Benson Henderson. Okay. I got Stipe Miocic beating Gabriel Gonzaga. Who do you got?
No, Gabriel, man. Gabriel gonna beat you.
Okay. Well, we got Donald Cerrone versus Adriano Martins. I got Donald Cerrone. Got Adriano Martins.
Yeah.
Okay, and with Darren Elkins versus Jeremy Stevens, I got Darren Elkins.
Darren Elkins.
Cool. On to prelims. Yves Jabouin fights Eddie Wineland. I got Eddie Wineland.
I got Jabouin.
Okay. Chico Camus versus Yaotzin Meza. I got Chico Camus.
Meza.
Okay. Adam Haliev fights Pascal Kraus. I got Adam Haliev.
Pascal.
Okay. Ramiro Hernandez fights Hugo Viana. I got Hugo Viana.
Ramiro.
Okay. Walt Harris fights Nikita Krylov. I got Walt Harris.
Walt Harris.
Okay. Alexei Olenek fights Jared Rosholt. I got Jared Rosholt.
Jared Rosholt.
And Darren Cruickshank fights Mike Rio. I got Darren Cruickshank.
Taekwondo.
Yep. Darren Cruickshank. Cool. So that's pretty much it for our predictions for UFC on Fox 10. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And do you have any final words, my man?
Well, again, thank you all the fan support. I truly appreciate it. Just lately it's been headache, but I'm back and I'll do more shows with Chris, like I keep promising. But we will have fun.
Cool. So that's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.